everyone, welcome back to Actual English. I'm Jennifer Clyde. It's time for lesson 327 and we are on the winter topic. So it's time for winter 2. Let's talk about winter traditions. Now, if I say traditions, you may think of traditions such as going to a certain location or doing certain things such as rituals, but we're talking about traditions that we often practice or see happening in a particular season, such as winter. So, what are some common traditions we'll often see, not only in Korea, but worldwide? I guess, yes, there are traditions related to big holidays, such as New Year's celebrations, even Christmas, for example. So, around Christmas, what happens? We'll see many people getting excited, preparing for the holidays, planning ahead, for example, if they plan to go on vacations. But we're talking about traditions, which means that it's something that happens on a regular basis, almost every time this Christmas season comes. So we can talk about decorations, Christmas trees, how people go shopping for Christmas gifts, what people normally eat during the Christmas holidays, things like that. Okay, well, enough said. Let's first of all begin by listening to a conversation. So it's time for Actual Talk.
Hey Gareth, I meant to ask you, in Ireland, do you guys get into the whole holiday spirit, decorations, big change, or is it more muted?
We really get into it. It's very different to here. So yeah, we get a Christmas tree, decorate it with lights, all different decorations, lights outside the house. There's a big build up to Christmas as well, buying presents, looking forward to it. A lot of food, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, even Stephen's Day we have, which is the day after.
Stephen's Day?
Yes, it's in the UK it's called Boxing Day, but we call it Stephen's Day. So it's the day after Christmas, 26th. So sometimes people go to the horse racing or another day of eating. Yeah, it's a big day. So it's all very festive and a lot of fun, and it's a magical time, Christmas, I think, in Ireland. It's the one time of the year, yeah.
Well, that's a surprise.
It is, yeah.
In Canada, Boxing Day, and it's after the UK,
exactly.
is a shopping day or a party day. People have parties on Boxing Day.
Right.
But they certainly don't go horse racing. That's a surprise.
We do have parties as well, so it's very similar, to be honest, yeah. What about Canada, though? Here I am talking about Ireland.
We're really big on decorating houses. In fact, some people, it's almost like it's like competitive. My house is brighter and more sparkly than your house. It's more, it's very commercial. There's a lot of displays. There's a lot of discounts. Shopping is a big part of it. Parties and eggnog, big part of it. Santa Claus. Yeah. Carols. People go caroling, knock on your door and sing. I miss that a lot, actually.
Turkey?
Yeah, turkey and ham.
Plum pudding.
I don't know plum pudding.
No, it's dessert anyway, yeah.
Well, either way, I do feel that it's becoming different here, but I miss it.
Oh, same here, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Are you ready to take a look at Actual Talk together? Okay, let's take you straight into it then. Here we go. First of all, Kelly says, hey, Gareth. In Ireland, this is, of course, Gareth's hometown. This is where he comes from. She says, do you guys get into the whole holiday spirit, decorations, big change, or is it more muted? Let's take a look at the first pattern we have here. Get into something, which means to be interested in something, but here it has more of that getting involved in. Participating in something feeling, right? So she's basically asking, in Ireland, do you guys, meaning do people in general, get into the whole holiday spirit? This is very similar to the atmosphere, the liveliness, the environment, the very high spirit, environment, okay? An environment full of spirit, meaning that it's very active and lively, very joyful. So, do people get into the whole holiday spirit? Do they get involved? Decorations? Big change? Or is it more muted? Muted, subdued, restrained. So we're talking about two very different things. Is it very lively? Do people get involved? Do they get excited? Or is it muted, meaning restrained, very quiet and calm, okay? Now, Gareth says we really get into it. We really get into it. Everybody gets involved. Everybody takes part. And so he explains, we get a Christmas tree, okay? Decorated with lights, okay. All different decorations. Lights outside the house. All right. So these are some of the things you would commonly see in Ireland. People get into it. They enjoy doing things. They get involved. They participate in doing things such as buying a Christmas tree, decorating the Christmas tree with lights and Christmas decorations. They do all different decorations such as lights, putting out lights outside the house. There's a big build-up to Christmas as well. Okay, this is another one of our patterns for today. Build-up is what? Build-up or a build-up is like that development. Something that develops. We're talking about how the excitement of something develops. It becomes stronger and stronger and stronger, especially special events such as Christmas. So when Christmas comes, what usually happens? Before an event like Christmas, everybody plans and prepares for this exciting time, right? So the excitement can develop. It can build up, meaning get stronger and stronger and stronger. So he says there's a big build up to Christmas as well. Buying presents, looking forward to it, meaning, being excited about it. A lot of food. And he says Christmas Eve, there's Christmas Day, even Stephen's Day. So these are a few things related to Christmas. He's mentioning a lot of things, but he mentions presents. People go out to buy presents. There's Christmas Eve. There's Christmas Day. What else? There's all the Christmas food people have during Christmas. And there's, let's say, Stephen's Day. Stephen's Day. So Kelly says, Stephen's Day, what is that? Okay, I was not aware of this either. Gareth says, in the UK, it's called Boxing Day. Okay. But we call it Stephen's Day. So, in Ireland, they call it Stephen's Day. In the UK, they call this day Boxing Day. What is Boxing Day? Or what is Stephen's Day? It's the day after Christmas. So, Stephen's Day or Boxing Day is the day after Christmas. So, that would be the 26th. Okay? Sometimes people go to the horse racing. Okay, so they go to the horse racing tracks to see horses racing each other. Or another day of eating. So people go to watch horse races or they eat lots of food. It's all very festive and a lot of fun. So he's talking about Stephen's Day, which is a very festive day. What is festive? F-E-S-T-I-V-E. Think of festival. Okay, what are festivals like? Full of joy, right? Full of excitement, full of life, okay? It's very lively. So festive is another word for joyful or joyous. It's a very joyful day. It's a magical time around Christmas in Ireland. He's still talking about Stephen's Day. If you say that something is magical, you are saying that what? Something magical can be thought to be beautiful, hard to believe in a good way, unrealistic in some cases, but magical is something like magic. It's so beautiful. It's amazing. It's great. It's wonderful. Now, Kelly says horse racing. Well, in Canada, Boxing Day. is a shopping day. Or it's a party day. So they have Boxing Day in Canada as well. But what do people do? People have parties on Boxing Day. Since it is a party day, people have parties on Boxing Day. They certainly don't go horse racing, or they certainly don't go to the horse racing track. And she says, that's a surprise. What is a surprise? To Kelly, it is a surprise that people in Ireland actually go horse racing or go to watch horse races, because in Canada, that's not what they do. So the day is celebrated very differently, okay? Moving on, Gareth says, well, we do have parties as well. We do have parties. So it's very similar, to be honest. And then he focuses on Canada. What about Canada? Here, let's talk more about Canada. Now, Kelly says, we're really big on decorating houses, okay? Here, we've got big on something. We went over this, actually. But as a reminder, let's practice to be big on something. If you say that somebody or people are big on something, it means that they really, really like it. They're interested in something, okay? Or they consider or believe it to be a very important thing. So we're really big on decorating houses. This can mean that people enjoy decorating houses. People think that it is important to decorate houses. And she says, in fact, for some people, not all, but for some people, it's competitive. It's like a competition. And people normally think, my house is brighter and more sparkly than your house. Okay. So she's saying that some people, yes, for some people, it gets pretty competitive. People tend to compete with one another. They want to make their decorations better than others. They want to decorate their homes with brighter colors, with more decorations. So people will often say, my house is brighter, it's more sparkly than your house. This is what people normally say. And then moving on. She says it's very commercial. If you say that something is commercial, usually you're saying that it is great for the market. Okay, it's great for profit sometimes. It's great for the market. So it involves money, I guess. People tend to make money off things if it's commercial. There's a lot of displays. There are a lot of discounts. So discounts going on. There are many displays around this time. And shopping is a big part of it. Parties, eggnog are a big part of it. Now we're talking about Christmas, okay? Christmas season or Christmas holidays. And then she also mentions Santa Claus and carols. What do people do? People go caroling, knock on your door and sing. Okay, let's take a look at the sentence. People go caroling. Did you know that carol can be used in the verb form? Carol is what? We often sing carols during Christmas, or we will hear Christmas carols being sung, right? But you can go caroling, which means to go from one home to another, as she said, knock on your door and sing. You can knock on the door of one house, and when they open the door, you can sing a carol, which means to go caroling. So you're moving from one home to another home. You're moving around to sing these joyous, very joyful carol songs, that is caroling. So that's what people usually do. And she says, I miss that a lot actually. Because it's not commonly seen in Korea. This usually happens where? In Canada. Now, Gareth says turkey, meaning do you eat turkey? Kelly says, yeah, turkey and ham. Now, once again, Gareth says plum pudding. I guess they have plum pudding in Ireland, but Kelly says, I don't know plum pudding. I'm not aware of that. I don't know what plum pudding is. But he basically says, well, it's a dessert. So Irish dessert, I guess it's plum pudding that they usually have during Christmas or in the winter. Well, Kelly says, well, either way, I do feel that it's becoming different here. Here meaning in Korea, but I miss it. I do. Different meaning what? I think that the atmosphere itself, the environment, things tend to change during winter season. More and more, I think, every year. I guess we're seeing more decorations. Decorations are getting brighter. They're becoming more sparklier each and every year. So I think she's talking about those differences, those changes that we are seeing here in Korea. There are more festivities going on, such as parties and so on. So she is referring to that, although it's quite different from home, from Canada, that is. Anyhow, that is all we have for today's actual talk. Let's take a listen to it one more time.
Hey Gareth, I meant to ask you, in Ireland, do you guys get into the whole holiday spirit, decorations, big change, or is it more muted?
We really get into it. It's very different to here. So yeah, we get a Christmas tree, decorate it with lights, all different decorations, lights outside the house. There's a big build up to Christmas as well, buying presents, looking forward to it. A lot of food, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, even Stephen's Day we have, which is the day after.
Stephen's Day?
Yes, it's in the UK it's called Boxing Day, but we call it Stephen's Day. So it's the day after Christmas, 26th. So sometimes people go to the horse racing or, another day of eating. Yeah, it's a big day. So it's all very festive and a lot of fun, and it's a magical time, Christmas, I think, in Ireland. It's the one time of the year, yeah.
Well, that's a surprise.
It is, yeah.
In Canada, Boxing Day, and it's after the UK,
exactly.
is a shopping day or a party day. People have parties on Boxing Day.
Right.
But they certainly don't go horse racing. That's a surprise.
We do have parties as well, so it's very similar, to be honest, yeah. What about Canada, though? Here I am talking about Ireland.
We're really big on decorating houses. In fact, some people, it's almost like it's like competitive. My house is brighter and more sparkly than your house. It's more, it's very commercial. There's a lot of displays. There's a lot of discounts. Shopping is a big part of it. Parties and eggnog, big part of it. Santa Claus, carols. People go caroling, knock on your door and sing. I miss that a lot, actually.
Turkey?
Yeah, turkey and ham.
Plum pudding.
I don't know plum pudding.
No, it's dessert anyway, yeah.
Well, either way, I do feel that it's becoming different here, but I miss it.
Oh, same here, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for actual expressions. Okay, we had a second listen to the actual talk conversation. So let's go over the words we saw and heard in today's actual talk. Here we go. The first word is muted. Now, muted. The T is not very strong. It sounds more of a r sound. It's muted, muted. So if you say that something is muted, you mean that it is restrained. Okay? It is hushed or even quiet. Something can be muted. Hushed, quiet. What about festive? Here we go. Festive. Think of festival. What are festivals like? They're very cheery, happy, joyful. Jubilant is another word. So when you want to talk about, festive holidays, such as Christmas holidays, think of these words. It's cheery. Everyone's very happy. It's a happy mood, happy atmosphere. Jubilant is a word you can definitely use. Okay, moving on to magical. What is magical? Think of magic. What is magic like? It's extraordinary, okay? It's enchanted. And commercial, here we go. Yes, there are TV commercials, as we call them, television commercials. But if we say commercial, especially if something is commercial, as I told you, related to money, profit, money. So we're talking about monetary, profitable. Something you can make money off. It's good for the market. Carol or caroling, okay? Let's take a look in the verb form. So you can use carol in the verb form. People can go caroling, right? So serenade, chant, belt out. Chant, here we go. Chant means to sing, okay? Not a long song, but chant. Simple tunes to a song. You can also sing carols. joyously. Okay, that's caroling. Okay, now moving on to our first pattern. Get into something. If you get into something, it means to be interested in something. You can gain interest in something. You can also get into something, meaning to be involved in something. You can participate in something, take part in something. That all means to get into. So here's a sample sentence. Kim got into cooking after watching one cooking show. So this could happen. You could watch a really, really good cooking show and somehow gain confidence. And you can say, hey, cooking can be fun. And you can get into cooking, meaning to be really interested in cooking. Okay, be addicted to it, fall in love with it maybe, okay? So Kim got into cooking after watching one cooking show. Moving on to build up, build up. The stress goes on build, okay? Let's practice it. Build up. It's not build up, it's build up, build up. So we're talking about that development, okay? That development of excitement, especially before a huge event. So here we go. I really love the build-up to New Year's celebrations. Or the build-up of New Year's celebrations can also work. So build-up, build-up. We're talking about all the excitement that occurs or that happens before New Year's celebrations. And then finally, we've got big on. You can be big on something, meaning that you consider or believe that something is important, okay? Or it can also mean to be interested in, to really, really like something. So here is a sample sentence. I didn't know you were big on jazz. In this case, we're saying, I didn't know that you were into jazz. I didn't know that you were interested in jazz. I didn't know that you really liked jazz. Let's try this one. I didn't know you were big on jazz. I didn't know you were big on jazz. Okay, everyone, job well done.